well, many people around the world are trying to fathom exactly what Russia's Vladimir Putin is trying to achieve by his invasion of Ukraine and why he's willing to face such punishing sanctions from Western countries. Stefan Wolff is the Professor of International Security at Birmingham University. Welcome to the programme. Good to see you. What do you believe is Putin's end game? What is he trying to achieve? Where does this invasion stop?
That is very hard to determine, and I think at the moment we can only speculate based on some of the more recent announcements that were coming out of the Kremlin earlier today. I mean, Putin seems to have gone back to some of the earlier and quite long-standing narratives that Russia has had about the need for neighboring countries in the former Soviet Union to be neutral in order to provide this kind of security buffer between Russia and NATO. And this seems to be the latest sort of, if you want, offer that Putin is making. And there seem to be some efforts underway for a discussion about this directly, Putin and Zelensky. But it is still hard to see how any of that would really justify the naked aggression that Russia has carried out against Ukraine in clear violation of international law, or the humanitarian disaster that is unfolding now that your previous speakers have outlined so very well.
Do you believe that further economic sanctions are going to have any influence whatsoever on Putin?
Not immediately. I mean, economic sanctions, they take some time to actually bite. But at the same time, I think it's a very important signal that the West, including the EU, the United States, other NATO members are sending to Russia here, that they are not going to take this sitting down, and that they will continue to increase the economic pain on Putin, his inner circle, and their wider families. I mean, we are talking about very specific, targeted sanctions here that will really try to be aimed at those who are in the position to make decisions at the moment.
I want to ask you about the tens of thousands of people we've seen demonstrating in Russia on the streets of Moscow and St. Petersburg. Will it matter to the Kremlin that there is clearly a degree of domestic opposition to an invasion carried out in their name?
No, I don't think so. I mean, all the indications that we have had from Putin, from Russia for quite some time is that, yes, there is opposition, yes, there is dissent, but it is not the kind of mass movement that we would need really for any change to happen. And also quite ruthless, the responses that Putin has had to this kind of opposition, including most recently assassination attempts, jailings of opposition leaders and activists. So I think this is not at a scale that would necessarily have to worry the Kremlin right now, or Putin himself.
What next after this latest round of sanctions is outlined? I mean, what happens after the sanctions plan is exhausted? What then?
Well, I think we will need to give sanctions some time to actually bite. At the same time, I think it's very important that especially the European Union and NATO take actions that can mitigate the humanitarian disaster that is unfolding now on their doorstep. And I think in the midterm, there needs to be kept open the possibility of a return to diplomacy, but diplomacy that does not in any case sort of justify Russia's actions or accept the brutal land grab that we are seeing is going on in Ukraine at the moment.
Professor Stefan Wolff at the Birmingham University, thank you very much indeed for talking to us.